We spoke to the director of the brand new Apple TV Plus movie, All of You. Check out our conversation with William Bridges. Congratulations on the movie. Before we get into it, quick question. You're doing something with the aspect ratio, am I right?
Yeah, we're shooting in 1:6:6, which is the golden ratio. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I'm
what it
glad you
was. Okay,
noticed.
cool. Oh, cool. Talk to me about why.
Well, we didn't intend to have it in 1:6:6. We were planning for 1:8:5. So we had everything framed for 1:8:5. And when we were getting the rushes back, we shot it on an Arri and it was coming in with a much taller aspect ratio. And we looked at it and was like, we like this. So me and the cinematographer, I'm probably not doing a service saying this, but like we looked at it, was like, there's something about having a bit more height, top and bottom, for these two characters, because a lot of it is two people in a frame talking. And we're like, let's get
Yeah,
some more height to it. So in the end, we ended up finishing it in 1:6:6 just through seeing the rushes every day. So we changed it
very cool.
about a week into filming. We were like, this is the new ratio.
Very cool. Talk to me about the decision to not lean into the high concept of it all. I mean, we've seen plenty of movies like this, and usually at about the third act, they go down the sci-fi rabbit hole. But you guys kept it focused on these two characters.
Well, I think you nailed it in the question. I think it's because we've seen it, right? Like it didn't feel interesting to us to tell that story. It felt like there was more interesting stuff to be told in the personal relationship that we'd set up. And so the more we talked about it, the less we needed the sci-fi element of it all to step into the story, because that was the story that interested us. It was, good sci-fi talks about us now. Even if you said it in the future, 100 years in the future, you're talking about us now. And that's what we wanted to do with this, was to create a premise that allowed us to talk about a relationship that we recognized. And so that's why we kind of moved away from it, because we felt like there was more interesting stuff in the nitty and gritty of their relationship.
Which is also what I loved about the world that you created, because everything was subtle, as in the futurism of it was subtle. The car, the phone he was using, nothing was too in your face. Because unfortunately for me, we're not having flying cars. It feels like the world is getting to be in that subtle direction more than anything else. So I really love that. Um, we have seen many versions of, I guess, soulmates over the years in cinemas. You know, there's the messy, epic, destiny kind of complicated love stories, etc., etc. Was there a particular cinematic soulmate story that has kind of stayed with you? Not necessarily as an inspiration for this film, but just got its hooks into you and never let go.
Sure. Well, no is the short answer, but I'll give you a slightly longer one as well. I think not a soulmate story specifically. I think there's definitely, when we were coming up with the story for this, there was not references or touchstones, but we just talked about movies we liked that were in the same space. And when Harry Met Sally came up quite a lot, that's about a friendship through time. And I don't know, maybe you could call them soulmates. I'm trying to find a reason for you there. But yeah, so I think there's just a couple of movies that were special to us that we had kind of in mind as we moved through talking about the story. But no, yeah, not a soulmates one specifically. Because I think a lot of romance stories are about soulmates anyway. Like they're about two people that just have to be together. And I think you could probably name that as that they're soulmates anyway.
I've got a couple of minutes left, and I'm just curious. I wanted to run something by you because it's been kind of bothering me. So I recently saw Materialists, which
Right.
is the Dakota Johnson and Pedro Pascal movie, and it spoilers. It has a happy ending. She ends up with Chris Evans, right?
Right.
And those were the kind of movies we saw all the time, the happy ending rom-com, and yet all of the conversations around Materialists were, oh, how absurd, why did she should have ended up with the rich guy, or this guy's a loser, and can we not just do the rom-com happy ending in 2025? Does it not work anymore? Like, was that a consideration for you guys when you were writing this movie?
We weren't thinking that big. We were thinking about, like, how are we going to change cinema with this? No, we were just thinking about, we'd spent a long time talking about the characters and where they would be at certain points in their life. That we got their whole life mapped out for the next 25 years, but we wanted to find somewhere conclusive for the end of the story, something that where we felt that they both learned something and moved on. And so where we ended, it's just the natural place in that part of the timeline of their lives. Yeah, I'd love to say we were thinking in a much broader, how do we reinvent the rom-com? No, we weren't thinking that. We were just literally thinking about these two people's lives and their relationship, I'm afraid. Sorry, I can't help you.
I have one note.
Okay, thank you. But we love notes.
Which is, it's got nothing to do with the film because I
Okay.
really enjoyed the movie.
Okay, thank you.
You got to get someone to recut that trailer, man. Like, the trailer is not representative of what the movie is. I watched the trailer and I was like, and I mean, the movie's better than what the trailer tells me.
Yeah,
because
right.
my wife was watching the trailer like over my shoulder, and she for a second was like, wait, have I just seen the whole movie? And I'm like, no, man, it's a Brett Goldstein thing. I don't think they do that to us.
I will pass on the note. I think there's somebody taking notes, but they're scribbling it down. They're going to take that seriously. They're going to pass that on for you. Yeah, they're nodding at me. That's definitely going to happen. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Will. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All I want is you.
All of You is now streaming on Apple TV Plus. Check it out. Let us know what you think. Sound off in the comments. And thank you so much for watching.